Greetings, pirates and privateers, and welcome back to Uncle Ted's Scrapyard. It's Grim here, coming at you live from Cartel Incorporated. We're doing another tutorial edition of the show here for capital vessels. This is the one that we've been working on for the past few episodes, and it is just about done. All of the most important bits are in. All that we're missing are a few of the high-level items that you might not need in a starter CV. So if we take a look at this thing right now, we go to Stats and unlock level 12. I think this is where I want to keep it, and if we were to add the deconstructor and an advanced constructor inside it, that might pop it up a little bit. So if I go over here and I take a look at, well, actually here, go in and take a look at the unlocks for the capital vessel, and where are you, Bilby Bits? Probably scrolled right by him already, haven't I? Nope, there we go. So, alright, deconstructor comes in at level 12 and advanced constructor at level 10, so I think we're okay there. It's the universal one that we wouldn't want to pop on there, so we can load those up. Medical devices, again, level 10. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, looks like we should be alright with that stuff. One more thing I wanted to check on, though, and I think that's up this away. Basic CPU extenders. We're going to enable those because we might need to throw a CPU block in there, and again, level 10, we're fine. Because if a basic shield will fit in this thing, there is space to add it, although it will take away from access. Yeah, see, level 15, the compact shield generator. So I'll show you where. There's an access corridor up at the front of the ship for getting to that front cockpit. And I believe, we'll be able to check when we get there, I believe that it will provide enough space, just enough space, to throw in that shield. So that would be up over here behind this door. And we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 3. A little close to the engines there. There we go. And if we go back here and take a look, where are you? Compact shield generator. This is 2 by 1 by 3. That could definitely fit in here, no problem. But like I said, it would cut off access to the front there unless 2 by 1 by 3. So we could put it there and then just continue the corridor all the way across the top. Yeah, we could do that. But again, that's a level 15, and if we want to keep it at an unlock level 12 to get it in a little bit earlier, I think we're going to leave the shields off. But for now, let's get through here. Come on. Walk across all the radioactive stuff. Again, she's built to be utilitarian, not built to be pretty, or, you know, healthy, or any of that sort of stuff. We're going to grab our multi-tool here, set it for retrieve blocks, and go and get our oh, I didn't connect to anything. I'm a dumbass. Alright, connect to the base. Let's be sensible human beings about this. Got that. And that. And what's in you? Base. Deconstructor in. Has 2 small constructors. Let's just... because... And deconstructor out. That's all the stuff that we deconstructed before from... And now we can collect those boxes and possibly use them in the ship if there's any room. Alright, so we'll head back in here and we'll flesh out our... Oh god, you gotta be kidding me. Damn Xerax again. Alright. Are you on? You are. Okay. That should be enough to hold those guys off. They're coming from that direction now. Yeah, I see the drones. Alright. You can just see it out of the back here. And see what they start shooting at. Just that turret. Well, that was easy. Don't think the ship took any damage. Let's get back to what we were doing here. Okay. So, back into our toolbar and grab our little bits and chunks. Where are you? There's one. Constructor, and the deconstructor is there. We'll just put those boxes in here just for fun. And small commercials, you know what? If we have a little extra space, why not? Alright, so number one, I like to set it up so that it's got the open part of it. Like, you can access it from any angle, but I like just the feeling of being able to legitimately access it if it were real life. Same thing with the deconstructor. You can get it from any angle. I like to make sure that it's set up as it would be if this was a legit ship. Alright, so back corner over here, we got space for something. Let's take a look and see here. So we could put a little constructor there. Alright, we'll do that, and then change this to my favorite framed commercial. And I think right up in there for one of you, and right up in there for number two of you. And we've still got space up here that we could put stuff if we needed to. Oh, you know what? We can put the other right there. So there we go. A good manufacturing center. And let's double check our CPU here. We're still well within it. One of the things that I was going to add on to this ship later are the laser drills, but those are up here in level 25, I'm pretty sure. So it wouldn't be good for a starter CV, but let's see, where are they? Yeah, laser drills. But we did leave space for them. Those will take extra CPU, and some of this space up here could be used for the CPU modules. And I'm thinking, let's see, we got a fridge, we got food, we're gonna need a little bit of medical. And I was wondering, won't be able to put it, yeah, we could put it here, I suppose. We've got enough room to store our harbor vessel. And we've got O2 in that corner already. So, let's see, did I actually make a medical device? Anything on oxygen tank? No. Okay, I think I'm going to have to get one of those up and running. Let's see if the large constructor can do it. I know the advanced can, but that would involve me moving material from the base to the ship. Alright, let's see here. Bits and pieces for big boats, and medical devices. I'll take one of those, please. Alright. Go from the frame commercial container. One of those goes on here. Ooh, you know what? We're also going to grab to do the finishing little touches. These big industrial floodlights, these are good for landing on planets and being able to see what's around you. Spotlights I'm not going to worry about. The big industrial ones will cover that. But these guys, regular lights, we're going to put a couple inside the boat. But we're also going to put a couple outside. And the reason for that is that they tend to work better for mining. There we go. One medical device. So it's just a basic medic station. Can help patch you up after you've been out blowing stuff up. And it comes in, pretty sure we're still under level 12 here. Yep, level 12. So that's about it for the devices. I think we're just about good there. Yeah, there's generator, cargo, everything else. Yep, so when you're mining, let's turn the lights on here. Some dust gets kicked up, and some of the spotlights or the big Polaris lights there that I was looking at, when you have those mounted on the front of the ship, they don't actually cut through that glare. However, if we pop on, well, let's see, right there is the perfect spot for a number 2. Ooh, do I have an angle on it here? Alright. If we get the not centered light, that's not right. We want that. Yeah, that's outside of there. Okay, we're going to have to find a better spot to stick that. How about if we did it? Anyway, these lights, the interior ones, do a much better job of illuminating the area when you're mining. Just trying to see if I can get... Ah! Oh, there we go. That might be a good spot to put it. Does that mount right on nice and flush? Yeah, okay, so you pop your first light in, and then you hit P when you're pointing at it, and go to Devices, and this little control panel over here, we're going to crank the range, we're going to crank the intensity, and go spotlight mode. And you can adjust the spot angle to be nice and wide, so we're going to go 165, and that way it won't illuminate anything behind it, but it will light up the stuff in front of it. And now that you've placed one and adjusted its parameters, the next one that you pop on will have the exact same parameters. So there we go. A couple of decent mining lights up at the front that should illuminate everything that we need. I don't think there's a spot. Oh, yep, we could put them up top there. Okay. Well, we'll do the long trip back to the back. See if we can pop a couple more of these bad boys up there and really light up the desert. And then, of course, we'll have to see what it looks like when we're sitting in that seat. Because glare can be an issue. And if it is an issue, we will turn down that angle so that it doesn't include the cockpit quite as much. Alright, so these went right on there. Okay, and just to keep things even, one there, one there. Beautiful. And there's our access. And that's what it looks like. Well, you know what? I think we need to... Yeah, there's a couple more of those glass blocks. We need to rotate the transparency on. That one. And that one. And, just because I'm lazy. Go into God mode, we're going to drop in there again. There, God mode off. And we're piloting. Okay. Well, you can see the night sky, doesn't look too bad. But if we... Alright. Let's take a look at these and we'll set this angle. It was at 90. Let's go to 100. And we're going to have to do this for all four separately now. Degrees. Do it for the bottom ones as well. Alright, one more. Degrees. Alright. God mode again. Back up to the top. Now, when we jump in here, much better. We don't have a bunch of glare coming out, but we should still be able to see what's in front of us when we're mining without too much problem. And again, that's going to be when the laser drills are attached, which will come later. Now, let's go refill the oxygen here, and we can get down to the designy bits. There's a couple more little flourishes that I want to put on the body of this thing, and then I think it'll be about time to get painting. And that's how we'll finish up the episode today. And hopefully, by the time we get there, we're going to have a complete, ready to publish starter capital vessel. Do pardon my chewing. Alright. So, first thing we want to do here is turn symmetry mode on. And YZ, not XY. Symmetry plane in the middle, thank you very much. And we're going to go knock out a couple of blocks up near the front here and change them to this angled block. I don't think we quite got there last time, so just want to make sure that we're the same on either side. Alright. Go to F4, grab our steel blocks from before. There we are, 82. And I'm gonna go with ramp A, I believe. There. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Okay. So that bit's been finished. Now, I had thought about making these engine nacelles more square, but you know what? I'm going to try it. So, remember when you're deleting and you're in game, you have to do it on both sides, even with symmetry turned on. But building, you only need to do on the one side. So, alright, that's that. Let's get you. We're going to do this on both sides of the ship. Okay. We're going to have to get up top there too. Fix that later. You didn't see that, nobody saw that. Okay, what do we got? You. Alright. And over on the other side. Basically taking out any of the angled stuff that I had in here before, and I'm going to replace it with something a little bit boxier, which I'm hoping is going to really add to the whole look of the ship here. Okay, so you. But again, this is just aesthetic. Any of these pieces that I'm knocking off of here don't really do anything for the ship. I mean, it's ready to fly as a capital now. We could take it up there and do whatever we want. She's a perfectly functional boat. I do want to put some glass in here still. That's later. Alright. I'll leave that one in. There we go. Wander around here. Okay. That. And the rest of you is all thruster. Okay. So, back around the other side. And what do we got on the back here? Oh yeah. Whoops. Watch what I'm doing here. Go, and last little bit over here. Okay. Now, there we go. I'm going to switch back over to our blockety blocks, and I'm going to see if this works. Shorter little thing there. We'll have to figure out what we're going to put in the corner there. And again, this is being copied on the other side as we do this, so would you work in any kind of way? I don't think you would. I think we're looking for something different. We are looking for a corner bit like you. That. There. Yeah. Big and beefy. Alright. We're going to put you... there. And... there. I can't put it there yet. Damn. Alright. Back to regular. That's how the front of our nacelle is going to look now. Bit chunkier. And that's going to mean it's going to be straight edge all the way back. Is that what I wanted to do? Or is there something better I can do for a quarter? No. There isn't. It's one of those rare occasions where you run out of good blocks for being able to do what you want to do. Alright. That's alright. That'll just keep it simple. And back here. We can... You know what? I'm just going to go with full blocks on the back here and push it out one level. Let's see here. Because on here, I want to do my curved sort of engine surround. Ah, damn light's in the way. Well, that part will have to wait, I guess. That said, we can finish off the rest of the nacelle with Right. Let's grab you again. There, and will you go in there? You will. All right. So, engine nacelles are big and chunky now. Just gotta fill in some of the holes that we left along the sides. Oh, it would appear that we're out of steel blocks. What do we got? Bunch more. Okay. And we'll have to go and check the other side again to see that we didn't leave any holes over there. That's one. Same thing on the outside. Yep. And just have to make sure that didn't cancel the ones on the other side here. Sometimes there's weirdness that happens. But I think we should be good. Yeah, that's looking all right. So, last but not least, we'll head up top. And once we've filled in the nacelles, we'll start doing a little decoration, I think, with the paint gun. Alright, so fill you in. That's good there. Filled in both sides. That's good. Now out here on the edge. Boom, boom. Watching our radiation level. Something I did think about is running something down the middle here. Might be a bit much for what I want to get involved with right now, though. So I think we are just about done with the majority of our capital vessel. We can pop a couple of lights inside, but I think right now I want to finish with a little bit of paint. So when we added this detail on the side here, the thought that I had was, let's see, do I even have the appropriate utensil? I should. There it is. I'll replace all those bandages for now. Something a little bit techy running down the side. There's a few different textures that can be used. I wanted to make it look kind of industrial, right? And when we're using the plane there, it'll paint on the other side what we paint on this side, so it's really good for doing big stuff. What about... Yeah, you know what? Let's keep it simple. We're going to stick with that. All the little blocks in here. And that one too. And we want to make sure that we catch the little edge. Oh. Oh. Won't let me stand on top of that. Okay, can I get that? No, it's not going to let me change that edge. Okay. Alright. So that's our center line, and then I think we're going to go for a construction yellow here, because it's a big tool. And we're going to go for something... That doesn't quite feel right. How about this one? Yeah, that's kind of industrial and dirty. And then down the inside here. Alright. Let's check the ends of this. Just nice and filled in. Okay, these are engines, so if I hit one of these with the color, it's going to be the entire block that turns that, and I'm not sure I want to do that. So we're going to leave those the steel gray for now. But I think the bottom here, we are going to use our same sort of platey texture. We're going to go with a black. Paint the gun. And every face along here. Right to the back of the boat. And we'll go out and see how that looks from a little ways away. Not too bad. Starting to come along. I think we might leave that gray texture up on the top of the ship. We're going to work into the nacelles here a little bit too. I'm thinking they can be mostly black, and then we'll embellish on the inside here with a few different illuminated textures and so on. We'll do that next. Let's go up to the front here, and I want to paint these drill bits with something a little harder core. So we're going to go for one of my favorite construction textures, and we're going to make these just like that. Yeah, we're going to paint every edge that we can see of those. There, yeah, that's looking good. You're completely covered. Alright. Oh, let's get the inside here. So that should have covered that one as well. Beautiful. I think the only thing left up there is going to be the top edge. Oop. I'm going to let that jetpack fill up a little. There we go. Nice hardcore industrial texture. Alright, and the front end of this sucker, you're going to go black and that one again. Alright. Yeah, that's all been taken care of. And again, we'll look at it from the top and make sure that it's all done there. So we're also going to paint the insides here, the engines, everything up at the front. This ring is going to be that black plated texture, except for the drilling spars. That's good. While we're here, might as well just get the underside too. You're not going to spend a whole lot of time looking at the bottom of this ship, but it's nice when you do have to be under it for any stretch of time to have it, you know, finished off. Paint the turret black too so it matches. When it's retracted, it'll be a nice clean surface. Do have to move that core too that I've just painted black. There we go. Alright, that's all been done. Thank you very much. Paint the door black. Now, you know what? I think we will continue that yellow stripe down the nacelles at the appropriate level. So where is it? Bottom, and then second from top. We're going to do, the front face is going to be all one color, but I think starting here or here, we'll go with the yellow. That's the same correct texture, yep. There we go. And then this as well. Now, if I use black, yeah, I thought that might be a problem. We're going to have to do that too. Okay. Sometimes the blocks have weird paint angles that they accept things at, so you have to kind of work within their boundaries. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but I haven't found it, and I don't have the energy. Alright, all this stuff is getting the black treatment too. Black landing gear. Black stuff around the landing gear. There we go. And there we go. Of course, I'm standing right next to the generator like a dumbass. And again, we're going to have to move this boat to put the final block up in the corner here on both of the engine nacelles. Now, what can we do with that little side strip on the nacelle there? Can we throw a texture on there that's neat? So when the boat is on, those will light up. Or should do anyway. Let's take a look. Are you on boat? You are. Any of the textures down here from like the white color in these self-illuminates when you're using, you know, a different kind of color palette. Let's try. There. Those would show up as white lights. So I think we're going to go that way. And across the top here, we'll just continue with the black motif of armor platey goodness. And inside this bit, this is a little bit fun. I like using either this one or what was another good one that I could use? Maybe that one. No, not quite. This one. And if we went, say, red, we're going to do a construction ship, so I think I want this to be an orange. There we go. Nice little self-illuminated. We'll do that on the back as well. Again, we'll finish it off once we have that block in place, but for now... There we go. Alright, and I think we didn't quite hit that yet, so black... That's that. Let's hit under the ramp here. Oh, I ran out of air again. And it goes quick on this planet, I tell you. Alright, hopefully that'll be enough to get us through to the end of the episode here. Alright, last bit to go and check out is the top, and then we're going to move that core. I'm going to do that before the end of the episode so that we do have a usable capital ship that we can get started with. Alright. Now, there we go. And yeah, I think black for everything else up here too. Let's get to the other side. Oh yeah. Little bits like that you can get stuck in. If I was any kind of artiste, I would actually fix that, but today's not that day. Today is the day when we deliver a starter capital vessel. Alright. That engine is done. That is all good. The bridge as well. The outside of it at least. You can paint these windows too, and they will take on the texture. Door black. I'll leave the inside of it unpainted for now. Remember, we have to be careful when we get up here because there's some top-down stuff that we didn't want to paint with the wrong brush. So we're going back to that and this for this. And for you. And it worked on the other side too. That's great. Let's go back to black. Hardcore for you. Go down to our little... Oh yeah, see, there's we missed. You and you. And this is... Nope, fell inside. Whoops. And just for fun, we'll hit God mode, make sure we didn't miss anything. Alright, that's looking alright to me. That one there, did we get that one on the bottom? Yes, we did. Alright, so now, screw it, I'm just leaving it in God mode at this point. You can run around on your feet if you want to keep it legit and real, but I'm not playing that game today. Let's see, what would be a good texture for... a placeholder for... Damn it. That's gonna be tough. Only change one of those. Alright. How about... Well, that's still not gonna work. What can I throw in there? Alright, let's pick a color. Construction orange for now. Oh yeah, that so doesn't work, does it? I'm gonna find something that I can paint this over with that isn't gonna look like ass. Different sides of blocks can sometimes have different properties and different shadows, and that irks me. Well, maybe we'll just go solid color, and we'll go deep dark black. That's the way it's going to have to be today, until we install an engine in there. You guys are going to be just fine. Let's get you properly attired. There we go. Paint the ramp black. Now, there are all kinds of things that you can do with switches and stuff, so you can automatically open doors, tie them to landing gear, and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to put that in a different video, just explaining some basics. And there already are a few of those out there, because honestly it would be a really boring thing to get into while we're working on design work here. Let's see, do we keep that gray stripe or do we finish the rest in black? I think we go black, because once you go black, you color outside the lines. Aha! Spotted one we missed there. Oh, and you too. Alright, here we go. So let's go back here, correct our little mistake. That is construction yellow. And on the inside too. That's better. And there we have a relatively usable, finished, defensible starter capital vessel. And I think that's going to about do it for the episode today, kids. Thanks for joining me. And in the next episode, you might see me building a base. But until then, this is Grim, signing off.